Hello and welcome to It's About Time, where we take a look at affordable watches for the everyday man. Now, if you're like me, a watch collector on a shoestring budget, you'll understand what I'm talking about when I say that I can't always get a watch every single week or every single month. It's hard to come up with a new watch all the time. But there are some ways that we can get new looking watches with the watches that we already have. What am I talking about? Well, it should be pretty obvious from the title. But I'm talking about changing out the watch strap on the watches that you already have. It's like getting a new watch. Why don't we take a look at some of the options that I've found to hopefully give you some ideas. All right. What do you say we jump into a little strap fashion show here? So I'd like to show you how these 5 straps have added 5 new watches to my collection. Now you can see that these are ranging in various different colors and even some in different materials. And that all just depends on what your style is and what you're going for the watch that you're going to be putting it on. Now, the nylon straps that you see here, these are called Zulu straps. They're very similar to NATO's in the sense that they operate just the same, but Zulu straps have an extra buckle on them, and I'll show you how that works coming up here in a little bit. This particular strap, this is called a Milanese strap or mesh bracelet. It's very flexible, very user-friendly. These are very useful if you have a smaller wrist because they are infinitely adjustable. This particular one is magnetized, so you can see it can go, it can get pretty small. You can just imagine that on a wrist, but they are infinitely adjustable, which makes them very comfortable and very versatile. And by the way, I will have all of these linked in the description below, so feel free to check them out. Let's go ahead and start putting some of these on the wrist and showing you how the different color combinations work with a lot of different outfits and a lot of different watches. We'll go ahead and start off with one of my more daily wears. This is heavy in my rotation. This is my Seiko 5 SNK 807. I have done a review on this, so if you'd like to check that out, go ahead and check out the YouTube card right here. They'll have linked, and you can see the full review. But as you can see, this comes on a nylon strap already. It's kind of a thicker, double layered kind of strap. It's kind of stiff. It's not as comfortable and flexible as you would think for a nylon strap. It does its job. One thing that I do have to say, I do like the hardware on it. It's got a floating keeper and a solid keeper. And then it is kind of nice that let me turn that so you can see it. You can see the buckle is signed. So some nice touches on here. But after a while, this blue on blue, it gets a little tiresome. So what if you want to switch it up? What if you want to do something different? Well, that's where all these different straps come in. And these three straps are the ones that I alternate between on this particular watch. And I'll show you what they look like coming up here in a little bit. Now first I'm going to go ahead and show you how to put one of these straps on your watch. First thing, of course, take the old band off, but you're going to leave the spring bars on. So you want these guys to still be on here. You're going to take your strap, and you're going to take the long end of it, put it through the top. You're going to pull it to the end, and then take the rest of it and feed it back through on the bottom side. So the first half of the strap goes underneath the watch in between both of the spring bars, just like that. Now if you want to wear this as a regular NATO style, then all you would do is just throw this through the loop, and then you would center your watch, and there you have it. Now your watch is ready to go. You just throw it on the wrist and you can go. Now this is a Zulu strap, which has a little bit more securement to it, And the way you would utilize the 5-ring design is you take the excess strap, loop it back over this ring here, underneath the second ring, and you're going to want to finagle these 2 rings here. You're going to want this ring to go kind of that way. There we go. And that's how a Zulu strap is secured. And here it is sitting on top of my 7.5-inch wrist. I've actually got this kind of tight. I'm going to loosen this up 1 notch. There we go. That's better. And I know it might be hard for you to see, but let me see here. I'm trying to get it through both of the keepers on the back. Now, one thing that's nice about doing this in the Zulu style is that it does take away a lot of the excess. I'll flip my wrist around. I'll go and flip my watch around here. But it takes away a lot of the excess, so you don't have to tuck your strap back underneath the keepers. It just kind of sits there and it doesn't bother anything. But now you can see that this gives this watch an entirely new look. And I did make sure to match it up with the same type of hardware. This hardware is sandblasted, same as the case of the watch. And now it looks like it was made for this watch. It fits it perfectly. But it's almost like having a brand new watch. And the orange color goes good with the dark blue. So it's kind of a nice, fun color. It really stands out. But if you wanted something more subdued, then you can go with some of the other color choices that I found. Now, if you're looking for something a bit more subdued, you can go with something that matches the color of the watch dial. And here you can see I found a nice stripe with the navy blue stripe in the center. But this just gives the watch, once again, a whole nother look. Everything still matches, but it's not as loud and not as predominant as the orange. I wear that when I just want to have some fun. And if you still wanted to have a pop of color, but not something that's so loud as completely all orange, you can find these with just a stripe of color in them that goes well. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on this strap in particular, probably just because it's not as loud and obnoxious as a completely orange band. But this just gives you some ideas that you can go with a Zulu or a NATO strap. They're very inexpensive, but they give you a good way to get more use out of the watches that you already have. Now, you may remember this watch, my Invicta Pro Diver. I have done a full review of this watch. I will have a YouTube card linked up here so you can take a look at that if you want to see the full review. But in my review, one of the things that I was disappointed with was this bracelet. Although aesthetically it does go pretty good with this watch, the quality of it is just not all that great. I don't know, it just doesn't feel that great on the arm. So I found a way to get around that. And here it is on a blue and white Zulu strap. Now you can see the integrity of the color scheme is still kept really well. In fact, I even think that this goes even more towards the nautical theme of this watch. So I think it's very appropriate. And as you can see, I did make sure to match the hardware with the polished hardware along with the polished part of the case. So it gives it that sense that it was designed to be here. And just for funsies, let's see what that looks like on the Milanese. Not a bad look. The brushed hardware goes good together with the brushing on the top of the lugs here. But I think it looks better on the blue and white Zulu. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below which one you think is better. Maybe I'll start wearing it that way. Now here's my Armatron Diamond on its original bracelet which isn't a half bad bracelet. It feels comfortable enough, and it matches the watch really well. But I did want something a little different. By the way, I will have that YouTube card linked up here to where you can take a look at the full review of this watch. But let's go ahead and see what it looks like on something a little different. And here's that Armatron diamond on the Milanese strap. I think that this is a winning combination. I absolutely love this on this strap. What do you think? Now, one thing to keep in mind if you are going to get a Milanese strap like this, particularly one that has the magnetized buckle, you're going to want to make sure that that magnet, when the watch is off, when you set it down at night or if you're leaving it in a box or something, you don't want that magnet to get anywhere near the watch itself because you don't want it to magnetize your watch. Now, what will happen is if you're using a quartz watch like mine, like this watch here, it will stop it dead where it's at. It will cause it to no longer tick. And it'll do that as long as the magnet is there. So if you pick up your watch and you notice it's several hours off, it's probably due to the magnet resting too close to the watch. As long as you're wearing it, there's not going to be any issues there. And then the same goes for any automatic or mechanical timepieces. Those can also be magnetized, and it can cause them to run fast or slow. So just make sure that when you're storing your watch, if it does have a magnetized bracelet on it, that you keep it stored away from the watch. Now, I hope that gives you some simple ideas on how you can make old watches look new, or a watch that you've kind of gotten tired of and you're not sure if you still like it, how you can breathe new life into the watch and kind of rekindle that fire that you had for it, simply just by changing the strap. Like I said, I will have all these straps linked in the description below, so feel free to check that out. I want to thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to hit me up in the comments section below. And if you like this video, give it that thumbs up and subscribe for more. Until next time, have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video.